Hello, welcome to a Chip Off the Old Block Toys. I'm Jeff here, and I apologize for the delay. There was some sort of error on YouTube's part where every time I would click the Go Live button, it would tell me it wasn't available. So, but I'm pretty sure it is available 24/7. Anyway, it took about 6 tries, but I'm in, and I'm ready to start. So today is going to be the first live stream. I'm not sure how many this is going to take, 3, 4, 5, who knows. But what we're building is the original Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon, and that's set number 10179. This one came out, I believe, in 2006 or 7. What I remember is it came out right before I went to Germany. Well, not right before, but I didn't finish building it before we went to Germany, and we went to Germany in 2008. And so I had it for a while, so it probably came out in 2007. Anyway, not really a relevant detail. I did get my second camera working. I had trouble in the last live stream to get the big camera working. I've got a loose wire, and unfortunately I live so remote that I'm not able to get another wire at this time unless I order it online. So let's go ahead and let's start the building. Now, I admit that the first part of this building is not going to be that fun because this is just a bunch of Technic bricks, because you got to build a huge, and I mean huge, base for this particular set. And that's because, well, you need to have the strength in order to hold such a large set. I mean, it's very bulky and it's very heavy, and you got to have this Technic brick base. So anyway, and I'm going to be flipping back and forth between the comments because I only have one monitor, so I need the one monitor for the instructions. So I apologize, there will be some delay getting to the comments. But good morning, John, and good morning, Miss Chip. I appreciate you both. And if you would, if you like the live stream, hit the like button. If you don't, leave it alone. But this is building this Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon is part of my Docking Bay 327 MOC for the Lego shows that I'm going to be going to. So, and I don't know if I've explained it, but I will explain it here if I haven't already. But I'm very excited about these shows, and I had to build it in such a way, the MOC, I had to build it in such a way that it can be used for more than one purpose. Because some of our shows, there's going to be a train loop running around the whole entire thing. And some shows, there will not be a loop running around the whole entire thing. So what I've done is I made room on the front of the MOC on the lower level for train tracks for the shows that that we're going to have trains. But the ones that we're not going to have trains, instead of the train tracks, I'm going to put turbo lasers on the bottom, just like there is if you watch the show, the Star Wars show, the movie. So it does have its purposes, and it's going to be kind of versatile for that reason. I need it to be. And yes, it is getting hot up here already, because I just live in a very hot part of the world. Well, it's not hot, but it does get hot here, and I can't have the air conditioning on, or else you won't be able to hear me. So I just gotta muscle my way through this. Not really fun, but you know, hey, what are you gonna do? Let's see. I don't like talking politics on this channel. I am very political, though. For those who know me in my private life. So I preface this with this because I want to bring up something, and I'm not being political. I did just drop a piece. But what's going on in the world today? Well, the war with Ukraine's still going, that's for sure. Gas prices here in the U.S., I don't know what they've done in the rest of the world, but I can't really see that. Oh boy. Gas prices here in the U.S. have fallen. In the last week, I have seen gas prices go down about 20 cents a gallon, which I am very grateful for. Living out here in the country, everything's a far drive, so having those gas prices fall some is very helpful. And the other thing too is that Okay, yeah, I couldn't see that very well. So to have gas prices fall, it helps me out. I can go places, and also there were reports that restaurants and other places are really starting to suffer because people aren't going places because of gas prices. So, like I said, I don't want to get political, but would like to talk about the effects of it, and the effects of it are not good for a lot of industries, because restaurant industries, well, I mean, you can't have too many of those go under. Anyway. So how's your morning going, John and Mrs. Chip? How you guys doing? You guys up to no good? Working hard or hardly working? Me? If you ask me that question, my answer is depends on which 5-minute period you're talking about, because I could be working hard and then the next 5 minutes I could be hardly working. So anyway. And I know the beginning of this build is not that glamorous at all. It's very tedious because we're building all these little things, all these little Technic boxes to kind of help, support the structure of this. And by the end of this, we will get far enough that, well, I don't want to ruin it. And I have laid out pieces here, and we're just going to take this stream until it's done. If it's a little under an hour, great. If it's a little over an hour, great. It don't matter to me. I just need to get it done because it would be really hard to keep moving forward by laying out more pieces if I've got like partial here, and then it's going to be hard to know when to stop and start. So we'll do that. And all right, I feel a bad joke coming on, so we'll go ahead and we'll proceed with that. Do you know why the skeleton didn't cross the road? Well, the answer is because he didn't have the guts. Anyway, all right. Dumb joke, like I said. I got plenty more where that came from. Just trust me on that. Okay. So I've been dealing with all kinds of things here. I have sorted out all of the Lego City mock pieces. I have gone through my stuff, double checked, triple checked, that I do not have any more totes that have any city mock pieces in them. And they're all sorted, they're all laid out, which is great because I'm actually going to steal some of those pieces because they're a little light gray. I'm going to steal a lot of them actually for the Death Star Docking Bay 327 mock that I'm doing. So it actually worked out pretty well, to be honest. I'm very happy with this. So let's see. But that took a long time because everything I have, I like to store my Legos in 27-gallon totes. And the reason I like to do that is that those are, to me, a good size because they're not too heavy when they're full. They are heavy, but not too heavy. And they're not too small so that I have a ton and a ton of them, But I do have a lot of them, don't get me wrong. I've got like over, I'd say 40, maybe even more of those 27-gallon totes, and that's how I store my Legos. So I've gone through all of them, and it took, seven. There's 7 totes over there that I emptied that were the Lego City mock. So that it took up a lot of pieces, and each one of those were full all the way to the top. I mean, you took off the top, and then you're looking at Legos all the way to the top. So a lot of pieces, a lot of time, but I got through that. And I also took my personal pieces that were loose that didn't belong to any sets, and I've had the time to go through those as well. And so therefore, I've got a ton. Oh wait, that's not really working. Oh, there it is. So I've got my totes of loose pieces now all sorted back in their cabinets. I don't have room for the cabinets to be hung on the wall, so they're all scrunched together, and looking for something is a pain in a certain place I'm not going to say. As soon as I get possession of the shop, I will be able to put insulation in and then put wood up, and then once I do that, I will be able to have those cabinets separated out, which will help me and aid me in my efforts to do other things like build. Okay. And by the way, I'm still looking and still interested in anybody who wants to join me on my live streams. I'm more than happy to subscribe to StreamYards where they make that possible, that there can be up to 10 people on one live stream. The only rule that I have is we do have to keep it at least mostly family friendly. Because I don't, like I've said before, I've got younger people in my family. And now in this neighborhood, I've got a couple younger kids that watch my channel almost religiously. And I really don't want them to hear stuff that's inappropriate. I don't want. They're going to hear it anyway, but I just don't want them to hear it from here. So if you can keep it family friendly, you're invited on. Just got to drop me a line, let me know, and I can send you a link, and you can join in. I can't do that today because I didn't actually sign up for live. I didn't sign up for the streaming service because no one showed an interest yet. But if someone shows an interest, then I will sign up. And I mean, it's like anything else. Signing up is really easy, and it only just takes a few minutes. So it's a situation that could be changed very quickly. So, and like I said, I apologize for the comments. I'm not really, I'm kind of flipping back and forth. And I think, is the zoom on my camera, I think my zoom is too far in. I don't think you guys are really seeing anything. And I apologize for that. Oh, it won't, let me see if I can adjust that. There we go. I'm so sorry. You guys aren't even seeing anything. Well, you're seeing my water bottle. There we go. Okay. That should be better. There we go. Okay. Like I said, we're just kind of building the superstructure, the under part of this. So it's not terribly too interesting, but then again, there's really not a whole lot I can do about that. I gotta just build where I got it, you know, and keep going. And this live stream, I will say this, I laid out enough pieces to get all of the technic structure done. So as soon as we're done with this live stream here, the next live stream is going to be adding details to it. And it won't be the structure, the boring part. It'll be the actual build itself. You know, like the cockpit and the gunner's spot and some of the insides. So look forward to that. And I'm going to flip over real quick and make sure. Okay, yeah, you guys can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I apologize for that. I didn't catch that, and I probably could back it off a little bit more, and I think I will. Wow, because I just want to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. Oh, wrong way. Okay, that's backed out as far as it'll go. So let me move over just a touch. There we go. Okay, that's the best I can do with what I got. So hopefully that'll do. Okay, now let's go on to the next part here. Yeah, I don't know, like I used to have friends like in Germany and stuff, but a lot of my friends from Germany were service members, and they've since moved on to a new duty station, so I don't hear anything from Germany anymore. So I don't know what gas prices are doing in the rest of the world. I imagine it's pretty close to what's going on in the States, which means it's not that great, and that it's been very expensive. And again, I'm not meaning to get political. I'm just talking about conditions of the world. If you want to talk and debate politics, I'm willing to do that all day long, just not on YouTube. Because good old Susan, the CEO of YouTube, if she doesn't agree with your analysis, she's likely to throw you off the channel or demonetize. And I'm not even monetized anyway, but I've heard some horror stories about people who just they state their opinion, and because it doesn't go along with what certain people at YouTube think, they yank you off the channel, or you lose subscribers. Stuff happens. So it's not that I don't like debating politics. It's just I'm not going to debate politics in a way that's going to hurt me or my channel, because I put a lot of effort into this channel, and I'm not going to have it thrown away because somebody's too immature to understand that the world goes around because differences of opinions. And that is what makes the world go around, in my opinion. And you know, if I got to speak politically, I will a little bit, but not like actual politics. And that is, I like hearing differences of opinions. It does not bother me to talk to somebody who feels differently than me. I actually want to hear from people that think different than me. I don't like living in an echo chamber where I just hear a bunch of yes men telling me, okay, yeah, what you're thinking is correct. No, I want to hear. And that's because I want to understand why people feel the way they do. It's not an argument, and it will not become an argument with me. I just want to know, because it's interesting. People have their reasons for feeling how they feel. And who am I to tell them they're wrong? Now, I'll disagree with them, and I'll tell them I'll disagree with them, but I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to call them names. Like, I don't say, hey, you're stupid for thinking that, or you're evil for thinking that. No, that's not. It's not. It's just, hey, let's talk about what's going on in the world, and let's have a great conversation about it. And, you know, you'll learn something when you listen to other people, especially if they don't agree with you. So I do not understand the overall movement to silence people who don't think the way that think the same. I think that's foolish thinking, to be honest. So anyway, you won't get that from me. If you talk to me about politics, we will talk about politics. Just not on this channel. Maybe I should create a second channel that I know will never be monetized and probably get thrown off and use a throwaway email or whatever. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, so I'm building, again, some more pieces here. And yeah, you know, I have had plenty of friends that are the exact opposite end of the political spectrum with me. And in fact, my current manager that I have, and I'm not going to say her name because I have more than one manager, so I'm not calling any of them out. And actually, two of my managers I know are the exact opposite of the political spectrum than me at work. And you know what? We've talked about that, and we're mature about it. And it does not lead to an argument. In fact, you know, and I'm not going to say what side of the spectrum I'm on this, but when Roe versus Wade got overturned, I had a discussion with my managers, both of them, and they're both on the opposite end of me on the spectrum. So it was a very interesting conversation. But you know what? It did not lead to name calling. It didn't lead to an argument, yelling, anything. It just, we had a simple discussion. And you know what? What's really interesting is at the end of the conversation, even though we're on exact opposite ends of the spectrum, there were actually things we had in common, and I found that we actually had more in common than we didn't have in common. Kind of interesting, huh? So when we didn't argue about it and we actually talked about it, we found out that we're actually got some things in common. Now we do have some things not in common. And obviously that's what made us different, but no arguing, and no acting like little babies about it. So I always think that's important, and it's good to have friends that are different than you. And I don't know where and when this got started, but this gets me upset. This belief that if you don't agree with someone 100%, and then you're not friends, and somehow you hate them. That is the most immature thing and thinking I have ever heard. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people that feel that way these days, that if you disagree with them, you just can't possibly be their friend, and you're evil, and you're this, you're that. And it's like, come on, really? We just don't agree on something. That's all it is. So, and again, as you can tell, I'm not telling you what side of the spectrum I'm on. I'm just talking in general. And so anyway. Oh, I missed a piece. Sweet. By the way, all these little pins, and I'll get off that subject here. all these little pins here, it takes so much to take this apart. I mean, you think putting together is hard? It's even harder taking this one apart. And I'm going to go to the comments here, see if there are any here. No, there's not, but there are 2 people watching and 2 likes, so I appreciate that. Yeah, kind of forced, like I said, just to go to the end of what I've got these pieces at. And that's not a bad thing. It's just, it is what it is. Oh yeah, this right here was, this is fun right here, let me tell you. These little things right here. Because these right here hold the whole entire ship together, really. They really do. And there are so many of them. When you take this set apart, which I have, it is hard to take apart. Which is good, because that means that as a model, it stays together pretty well. Now, the outer pieces tend to fall off pretty easily, and that's to be expected. It's Lego, it snaps back together. However, when it comes to the inner workings, it does not. So it's pretty strong. Okay, so this goes, and I am going to talk to myself a little bit, and I apologize. It's just something I do to think out loud. But I've got many plans. I guess you could say I'm a man of many dreams. Oh, that was stupid. Trying to shove a piece somewhere where it'll never go. Alright, that's what you get. Alright. I've got many plans for Legos. And most of it, though, revolves around having that shop out there, and so I really need that shop. And I can't get into it, but about the only thing I can say is there's been some unexpected delays with the shop, which unfortunately have prompted some legal proceedings. And yeah, that's really about all I can say. I wished I could go into it more, but because it's ongoing, I can't. And hopefully we can come to a resolution to this rather quickly, but it does not appear that that's going to happen. It looks like this is going to be a knockout, drag-out fight, and I don't appreciate that, but hey, you know what? Life throws you things like that once in a while, and you can either complain about them or you can grab the bull by the horns and handle it. And in this case, I'm going to do both. I'm going to complain a little bit, but mostly what I'm doing is grabbing the bull by the horns and just making it happen. And Enzo's doing well, sort of. He's kind of he's healthy, but Enzo's been kind of being a little turd lately, and he doesn't like to listen. And it's very annoying because, well, I think dog behavior 101 is when you call a dog, they should come. And Enzo likes to think about whether he's going to listen and come or not. And that bothers me because it's like, no, you're a dog. When I call your name, you come over here pronto. But he's got different ideas. Okay, let me make sure that I am doing this right. This is kind of difficult because the instructions keep like flipping this thing around, and so I have to keep flipping this thing around to make sure that I'm still on target. And in fact, let's do a little test. Let's see how long it takes Enzo to come here. Enzo! And John says, I'm happy to have purchased my first few Lego sets. That's awesome, John. And John, why don't you tell us which ones you bought? Now, I know, but I don't want to take your thunder. So you tell me, or you tell us what you bought, because I think it's pretty cool. Oh, speaking of which, he's actually being obedient this morning. Come here, Enzo. Let me see if I can get him up here. He's right here, but I don't know if you can see him. Come here. Come here. Oh, there we go. I don't know. I can't see how much you're seeing of him, but he's here. Oh, yeah. He sure is cute. Okay, buddy. I need my space back. All right. And John says, my F-14 Kobe build is coming out nice. Yeah, you know something, John? I would like to get the instructions to that just so I can build it out of Lego. Not that I have... I'm not one of these people that have a problem with off-brands like others do. I don't like other brands per se. Like, they're not my go-to. Let me put it out. They're not my go-to. That doesn't mean I don't like them, and it doesn't mean that I don't own some. I do own some, but just because this is a Lego channel, I won't be building any of them here. And most of what I've acquired, as far as in the way of that, has been things that. Like these used sets that I tell you I get, like these bulk used pieces that I bought. Like one time I bought the 200 pounds of used bulk Lego. When I did that, that's when I got a lot of Mega Blocks and other like types of pieces that are not Legos, and I'm okay with that because my son really likes the Halo series, or I should say did like the Halo series, because he's like 18 now, so almost 19, so he's not really that into it anymore. But at the time when I got it, he was younger, and so he really appreciated the fact that all of a sudden, you know, Dad had some Halo Legos, even though they were Mega Blocks. So I'm not against them because they build things that Lego didn't. Like, for instance, if you've seen my video, my 2 live streams building Optimus Prime, you would know that I'm a huge Star Wars Transformers fan, and for the longest time Lego did not have Transformers. In fact, Optimus Prime is their first and only. However, Creo, which is a Lego offshoot, well, not really offshoot, but you know what I mean, a Lego competitor, they did have Transformers for the longest time. And so, nothing wrong with that. You know, nothing wrong with having other brands that kind of fill in the gaps where Lego doesn't build. And Lego does not agree with military at all. And so, Lego will not build any military vehicles. However, I do see the contradiction in that. And the contradiction is Lego doesn't like... oh, wait a minute. Before I do anything... Lego says they don't like war stuff, but yet they've got Star Wars. And, you know, Lego has come out and responded to that, and they say, oh, well, that's because, you know, that's not real war. That's just make-believe. Okay, all right, I'll let that one slide. But how do you explain their Indiana Jones sets when, like, Temple of the Lost Ark and all that deals with the Germans, the Nazis? That was a real army, and that was a very evil army. So... yeah, you can't have it both ways, Lego. I need to give up 2 pieces I forgot. So the conclusion to that, I think, in my mind, is that Lego says that they don't like war, but they will profit off war whenever they feel like it. So, it just depends on if it's the right war in their opinion or not, in my opinion. And you see, that's one of the other reasons that I never want to become a Lego ambassador. Because Lego ambassador program, a lot of YouTubers like it because they give you advanced copies of sets for free. Yeah, I would like some free Legos. Problem is, I don't want to be shackled with Lego when it comes to not being able to oppose them or their opinions or give an honest review, because as a Lego ambassador, if you keep giving them a negative review and say, hey, I don't like this set because of this and that, the other, they're not going to keep you as an ambassador. And I want that freedom to be able to say whatever I want. So that means I review less sets because I'm buying them with my own money. However, it also means that I get the freedom to speak however I want, and Lego can't do a thing about it. And it is just my opinion, so I'm not causing harm to the company. I'm allowed to have an opinion, and if I don't necessarily agree with them, I don't agree with them. And if you guys have watched any of my videos, you know that most of the time I do like Lego sets exactly how they are. But occasionally I will give opinions, like with a more recent opinion I gave about Optimus Prime, is that I would hope that they would have built his Triton, his trailer, and they didn't. And I was hoping that they would do like a second set for maybe, you know, $80, $100 more. And if you would have bought the two together, Optimus Prime and his Triton, they would have given me like $20 off, maybe like a value pack or something. And I do give opinions like that. And then there's other times that I say, hey, it's a great set, but is it really $80? I think it's more like $70. And, you know, I will do that. And we had the Flintstones. When I built that one, that I felt that it should have been $10 more. And I would have paid $10 more if they would have included Dino. And they had, I can't remember if they had Pebbles or Bam Bam, but they were missing one or both of them. And, you know, seeing as I used to watch the cartoon as a child, I felt that Pebbles and Bam Bam were like an integral part of that. So I felt that Lego leaving those two characters out, and including Dino because he was their quote-unquote dog, that they really were missing the boat on that. And that I would have paid $10 more. So I don't want to be an ambassador because I want the freedom to speak my mind. And I want the freedom to be able to say, I don't like stuff or I do like stuff. And why. And plus, Lego doesn't like their ambassadors talking about sets that are upcoming. At one point, they've since reversed it, but at one point, Lego, two YouTubers that I know of, lost their ambassadorship thing because they talked about and showed pictures of upcoming sets. And Lego didn't like that. So, and I don't like that either. Speaking of upcoming things, I do have the roller coaster on its way. I don't know why. It's taken a very, very, very slow route here because I ordered it way back on the day it was released. And in fact, I stayed up to midnight that night so I could order it. And here we are at July 16th, and over 2 weeks later, and I don't have it yet. Lego initially said, hey, we shipped it, and they charged my credit card too. Nice of them. And then it was supposed to be here like on the 7th, I think it was. And I called Lego because 7th came and went, and I didn't have my set. And they said, oh, it hasn't even left our warehouse yet. But you charged my credit card. And their company policy is they don't charge your card until it ships. So they charged it prematurely, which I didn't appreciate. Okay. I gotta quit talking just for a second because I have got to. Okay. Sign 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. I know what I'm doing. Sorry. Sometimes I'm not so good thinking on my feet. So back to the story about the roller coaster. They charged my credit card prematurely because they're not supposed to do it till it ships. And anyway, long story short, I checked the website and Lego just barely got dropped or delivered to FedEx. I think it was the 14th. I could be wrong. Might have been the 13th. But it just barely got there. So the current tracking is saying it'll be here on Monday. However, for usually Lego orders are better, but this particular order, there has been just so many delays and everything that are beyond my control. I have no idea. I've seen like 4 different delivery dates, expected delivery dates, and none of them have come to pass. So I'm a little skeptical on when I'm really, really going to get it. All right, so here's this. Building the superstructure of this thing. All right, and let me toggle over back to the comments because, like I said, I only have one screen here, so I apologize. Hi, Enzo. Oh, okay. Actually, Enzo's really good, John. Enzo does not eat any Lego pieces. He is not chewed on any. But he's a butthead in other ways, like not listening to commands that I know he knows. Because you'll say something to him, and he'll look at you and he'll acknowledge it. However, he thinks about whether he's going to listen or not, and that infuriates me. I do not appreciate that. I saw your comment there just a second ago, John, about Rugal and counter surfing, which all I'm going to say is what a dog, what a dog. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right, so where are we at with this? Oh, I need 4 of these pins. Oh boy, I didn't grab enough pins. So I guess I need to get up and grab a few more pins. But I will do that in a second. You know, when I put these together, you got to imagine, when I lay out these pieces for these builds, you know, I'm not perfect at it, and that's because, you know, I've got 4 children and a wife, and plus running my business, and I got a job, so, and all my extended family's in this area, so I get a lot of phone call, a lot of texts, messages, and I get interrupted like super, super bad. And I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you what happens. So sometimes I have trouble picking up where I left off, and so that's why, like this one, I didn't grab enough pins. It must have been I got a phone call or a text message right when I was grabbing them, and then when I got back to it, I just thought I had everything, and I don't. And that's pretty common. That's just me being me. I do have some Lego orders, and those who have ordered from me, thank you. Lego orders have been good, and I always appreciate that, because I'm using that money to help fund my channel, because I'm not monetized yet. And from what I understand, you got to have even when you are monetized, you have to have a lot of viewership to get, you know, to get enough money to make it worth your while. So you really don't, and I don't do this for the money. I do this because of the love of Lego. It would be nice to be monetized to offset some of my costs, but in no way am I going to be able to retire off of this, and I'm not trying to. Just making that clear. This is mostly just for the fun of the Lego itself. And let me grab those 2 pins while I'm thinking about it. So I have been looking into getting a second monitor, and what that requires is for me to get a docking station, because my laptop itself will not handle it. So and yeah, before the price hike with Lego sets, yeah, if you didn't know, Lego sets on average are going to go up 25% here in the next couple months. And some kind of aircraft are really good, and I want the Iowa and the Yamato, sorry. You know, Brickmania, I hope they don't mind me mentioning them. They take genuine Lego pieces and they make military sets out of them. And you can buy kits, but they are pricey. 5 children, well, if you include Enzo, yes. Okay, I'm going to set this aside again because we're building an offshoot. And again, I just want to reiterate for anybody who watches this video, if you want to join me, drop me a line. My email is in my About section. Let me know, and I will send you the pertinent information to join me. I prefer that you are building Legos, or if you're not building Legos, you at least have a love of Legos that it won't be hard for you to talk about it, because that's basically my whole entire channel. But yeah, I would love to have you know, guests or co-hosts or whatever you want to call them on this channel. Okay, let's see. Okay, I see where this goes. Let's get this back out. And it's getting nice now because I've been basically freeing up space here on the table here so I can lay this out better. Okay, we got to build the other side. So, yeah, we got the roller coaster coming, and that is going to interrupt a little bit my build of this MOC, and that's because, well, I want to get it out while it's still relevant. So I'll be doing a couple live streams building the roller coaster, however many it takes, and that's going to be a nice addition to my city MOC, because my city MOC is going to have an amusement park because I have a ton of Lego rides. I've got the mixer, I've got the 2 carousels, I've got Glove World from SpongeBob, the original roller coaster. What else do I have? I got a lot. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to make an amusement park out of it. And I have an idea for a couple of rides of my own design. So if the money is there and the time, then that is going to happen. Ooh, and it does help if you follow directions very carefully, and I don't. So let me fix that. Okay. So yeah, John, you say that does this make any difference right there? Is the volume any different? Hissing. Oh, is the mic hissing? It shouldn't be. I actually do have a separate mic, and it's made specifically for live streaming. At least that's what it said when I bought it. Of course, you can't believe everything you read on the internet, but if this mic is really that bad, I'll buy another one. I mean, no sense in putting all this effort in there if people can't even hear you, right? Okay, let's yeah, this is being a little difficult here. But I am actually, this is fun building this set for a second time. Oh, well, it's not being that fun right now. My thumb hurts. Because getting this thing to line up, it's not, for some reason. Oh, there it goes. It's giving me some fits. Wow, it is surely getting hot up in here. That's because the morning sun beats against the roof panel that I am directly behind or in front of. So yeah, I'm getting the brunt of the heat right now. And I know you can't based off this video see what I'm talking about or even know what I'm talking about, and that's okay. But it's sticking to the chair and it's getting to be uncomfortable for me. But I've always done my live streams early in the morning, not because of that, just because to get them, you know, it's easier for me to do them in the morning. But Now there's another reason, and that is it's not as warm. Alright, so we got that step done. Let's see what the next step brings. Okay, yes, we got some more of that. We've done some of that already. Okay, let's do yet some more of this stuff. So yeah, you know, like I said, this part of the build's not that exciting, and I get that, but it'll become exciting here in the next live stream when. But don't go anywhere. When we start building some of the details. See, like I said, they keep having me flip this thing around, so it becomes rather difficult. Because I never know on which direction, instruction direction that I'm going to be going with this thing. Like what step and what direction I have to move the ship to match the instructions. But yes, after this, I'm going to get some Lego orders done. And today's kind of a fun day for me. My nephew is coming into town. My nephew is grown man. He's got 3 kids. Been married for like 10 years. And he's in the military. And they are PCSing to another area. They are coming from Texas. And I won't say where they're going, but he's coming from Texas and they're going to the next duty station. And he's coming into town just for a couple days to kind of say hey to everybody before they take off. And I look forward to seeing him. It's been, I can't remember, I think it's been about 2 years since I've seen him. Anyway, it'll be nice to see him. And we're going to have a family dinner. So, you know, we'll get together for that and catch up a little bit and catch up just in time for him to take off again so we have to catch up later. Anyway, such is the story of life. Alright, and I just broke off a piece that I didn't mean to break off, so let me reattach that. And let's see, what comments am I missing here? None. Okay, well, we're going. Yeah, my nephew is, he's a really good guy. I've got a lot of respect for him because he didn't come from the greatest home in the world. But he's a great guy, great father. And the fact that he is in the military, I respect too. Because my family's big on military service. Several people in my family have served in the military and are currently serving in the military. Even my own wife is currently serving in the military. So she's active duty Army, and my nephew is also active duty Army. He started off as a Marine. And he did one tour with them and decided to get out, and he did. He was out for about, I want to say 3 years, and then he decided to re-enlist in the Army, and he is a registered nurse in the Army. So he doesn't have the easiest job in the world, but I know he very much enjoys it. He always has positive things to say about it. So. And I just got to make sure that my mouth's not running too far to miss things on the build. I'm good for that one too. I get so carried away in my talking that I miss steps, and then when I go later steps, I'm like, what happened? Oh, that was me. So I'm good for that. So like I said, I'm not building this channel for the monetary. I'm doing it because I love it. And so what I've been doing is I've been taking my proceeds from Bricklink and I've been throwing them into a brokerage account and buying stocks that pay dividends. Because the idea is I want to make enough money off the dividends that I can fund my hobby and not have to ever take another dime from Bricklink or from my personal funds to keep this going. That's my goal. And I'm doing pretty well. I am doing pretty well with that. Things have been going a lot better than I anticipated. And yeah, some people would argue that's not possible with the stock market being down 20% this year. However, if you know how to invest, it is possible. And I'm telling you, it is possible. because I'm doing it right now. All right. So yeah, I'll be that's gonna take a while though. I'm not gonna get done with that overnight, but eventually I will be to the point where I won't have to take money out of personal funds to keep buying Legos. And if YouTube ever starts paying, that would help out too. So we'll see. Okay, so how does this one work? Okay, this is the because this side's different than this side slightly on this build. Okay, and I've got 2 more pieces. There they are. So, upcoming will be the roller coaster on Monday. So, if the roller coaster does come in on time and not on time, but as expected at this point, then I would be happy to do a live stream starting on Monday of the roller coaster. However, if it does not come in, then I will just continue this build here. And here's the deal. I will do as many live streams as it takes to get this done and the other one done. And I forgot what I was going to say, to be honest with you. So I will cancel that thought right there. And I'm also good for that too, forgetting what I'm talking about in mid-sentence. I'm going to blame it on, I'm not going to blame it on age because I'm not that old, but I am old. I'm going to blame it on having 4 kids. Just to be funny, not really. It's not really their fault. But I used to tell my kids that growing up. I used to tell them my bad memory was based on having 4 kids and the stress from it. And they thought it was funny. They didn't take it as offensive. I didn't mean it as being offensive. And my kids, they're so used to my dumb jokes. So, after all, they grew up with me. And that's the scary thing. Whatever a kid grows up with, they think is normal. So you got to be careful what you tell kids and how you treat them. So, anyway. What was I going to say about the roller coaster? You know, I honestly don't remember. But yeah, we're going to do the roller coaster, and we'll get as far as we can with it. And we'll do a couple of live streams to finish that off and take a break. And I am waiting for pieces too, because I ordered a bunch off of Bricklink, like $300 worth. And so I am just waiting for those to arrive because it's really hard to go much further on the main part of the MOC, the Mills plates. I don't even have enough pieces to finish the Mills plates that it's sitting on, and it has to be on Mills plates because, like I said, this is going to be on a show with my lug group, and my lug group, they have a standard that we all have to adhere to in order to have our stuff displayed. So I have to have it on Mills plates like the rest of them. And hello, how you doing? Is it LMVC? And I apologize. How are you? I'm doing well, and welcome. Oh yeah, thanks, John, for answering my question. I'm sorry, I'm not like really watching the chat too much, and that's because not that I don't want to talk to you. It's because I only have one monitor, and I need the instructions up most of the time. But I will get to the comments and I will respond. It just might take me a little longer than usual, and I cannot see exactly where these belong. So sorry, I'm going to put my head right in here, and you're looking at me, and you're not, and I'm not really looking at you. Okay, I think I've got it. I think, yes, I do have it. Okay, cool. All right, got it figured out. Yeah, the Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon, this is the one that came out in like 2006, 2007. And this is the one that was $500 originally. Try buying one new in the box now. Last I looked, it was about $2,500. So, I don't imagine there's too many people. Not only that, they're not in production, so there's not that many of them to be purchased, but I don't imagine too many people are buying them because that's a lot of money. An interesting side note is that when before they came out with this again, oh my goodness, this thing was expensive. Before they came out with this, re-released it again, the second one that was $800. This one here, and I kid you not, and this is not an exaggeration, on YouTube, or no, YouTube, Amazon, this thing was selling for up to $16,000 new in the box. Now, it has fallen since, and they're not that high because there is a second Ultimate Collector Series one that's out. So, yeah, it's not that bad, but at one time it was atrociously expensive. So anyway, and at the time, even a used one was selling for like $12,000. And I joked with Mrs. Chip at that point about selling this. I'm not gonna sell it. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. If I lost my job and I need to eat, I'll sell it. But under no circumstances am I gonna sell this unless I absolutely have to. I will sell something else first, and that's one thing I can sell. I've got the house that I live at. I own a water right. Well, I own 2 water rights, which in a state that's dry and suffering a drought, water rights are worth a lot of money. And if I ever had to, I will sell that first before I go selling Legos. Because I got 2 of them, and they both cover my land completely, the amount of water I'm allowed to use. So if I sold one, I wouldn't be out anything really, except for maybe future money, because, well, a water right's only going to get more and more valuable over time. So anytime you sell it, you're not going to get the appreciation of it later. But whatever. I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic there. I will never sell this Lego unless I absolutely had to. So anyway. And you know, there have been some Legos that I've purchased over the years that I really wondered why, and I thought to myself after I purchased them and put them together that I was like, man, that wasn't really that smart. I shouldn't have bought that. And then later on, when I'm building something else and it complements it, I thought, well, wait a minute, that was a good purchase. So I've come to the conclusion that there's very few, very, very few bad Lego purchases. There may be some you don't need at the time, but you'll need them later. Okay, so okay, I literally grabbed the wrong piece. So let me just do a little bit of thinking here on how I want to rectify this. Okay, well, I'm going to run over and grab it is what I'm going to do. So, and whoever's at my door is just going to have to wait. Okay. All right. I think it's one of the kids from next door. They've been stopping by here almost every day, and we usually do stuff together, like play board games and sometimes some Legos. But obviously in the middle of a live stream, I really can't stop and let them in. So anyway, yes, Elm. I am in Idaho. Where are you located at? And Mrs. Chip is in the Ohio area. I think my audience is pretty well spread out. We used to have Green, what was his name? Something Green. And he used to come on here. He was in Germany. I kind of took a break from producing much content back because I moved, and that took a lot. So okay, so now we're starting to get into, I know this is like really minor, but we're starting to get into some detail here. Look, I can't answer my door. I wish there was a way to silence that thing. So, alright. Alright, let's do this. Gotta get this from the underside. Let's see, is that correct? I don't think that's correct. I think this is supposed to be like right next to it, looks like. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Wow, so we've been going for about an hour. Well, that's okay. I got probably about another, I'd say about another 10 minutes worth of pieces laid out, and I do want to finish because, like I said, it just makes it really complicated for me later on, because I'll have, you know, these pieces left over, and then I'll have to move them real gently to make sure I don't get them out of order to add more to it. Yeah, I'm just going to finish off. And like I said, I'm going to be doing some traveling today. Go see some family. If I have enough time, I'll go see my sister before I go see my nephew. I don't know if she'll be coming to the dinner or not. My sister, she kind of had an unfortunate thing happen last Saturday. She totaled her vehicle, and that's the only vehicle they had, besides her work vehicle, which she cannot use for personal. So she has a vehicle, she just can't use it. Yeah, they hit a elk on the way to a funeral, and unfortunately, it just completely demolished their vehicle. I mean, like, there's nothing left of it. So I feel really bad for her. That's a stroke of bad luck to do that, and then, you know, plus the fact now that prices are so expensive on new vehicles that they didn't really give her much. You know, they gave her some money for her vehicle, but now she's out a bunch of money because, well, she's got to buy another one. And that's the other thing too, is that they went to the dealership to buy it, and they wanted new this time, and this is the first new vehicle she's ever purchased. But they sat there and it's not the dealership itself, it's just the market conditions. You can't get a new vehicle on some models. She had to put her down payment down, and she's not getting the vehicle for 6 months. Well, they said 3 to 6 months. So, you know, all these supply chain problems we're having are really adding up. Okay, so I got this piece in my hand that I pulled because it does say 2. But I am not seeing where it goes. Okay, I'm going to set it aside. Oh, there it goes. Silly me. Okay, I found it. Kind of the opposite of what we were talking about yesterday, John. John was talking about how he was missing a piece, and I told him he'd later find it. Well, I had an extra, didn't know where it went. So, just the opposite problem. And that does happen. So let's go ahead, and I like this part right here. This part right here is the part of the Millennium Falcon where it allows for the nose to be a little bit angled. This part right here. So see, now that it's like this, you can have it slightly come down like that. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's throw this one on. And yeah, it does it on both the top and the bottom. And if you look at the movie and the models of the Millennium Falcon, that's the way it's built. And by the way, my hat goes off to whoever at Star Wars, Lucasfilms, came up with all the designs for the different ships. Because you got to remember, a lot of this stuff, the earlier stuff, was designed in the 70s. And even though it was designed in the 70s, all these years later, it still looks futuristic. So I really have got to get my hat, tip my hat in their direction, because that is quite a feat to think of something that many years ago and still have it look futuristic. Because I think of shows like Buck Rogers, which, yes, I am old enough to remember that show, and that golden robot thing, how silly and pathetic he looks these days. And he does not look futuristic. He looks stupid, and I'm sorry to say that, but he does. And you know what? I think I grabbed the wrong pieces, because no, I didn't. I didn't read directions. So for Lucasfilms to come up with something that has passed the test of time, in my opinion, I think is a very awesome accomplishment. And think about it too. Star Wars. They had to think about, going forward, what it was going to look like, and to have the imagination and the wherewithal to think of all the different ships that they have, that none of them really look the same, but yet they all fit in the same universe. I think that is really cool. And like I said, my hat goes off. I tip my hat in their direction, because of all the creativeness they've been able to do and still make it look like something cool, in my opinion. So anyway, I hope you guys have a similar opinion of all the Star Wars ships that are out there. And let's make sure I'm building this right. Alright, so now we get to throw, oh wait, looks like I missed something. Yeah, I did. This guy goes here. And this is the difficult part, because it's not connected up yet. So but now it looks like we're gonna throw something on there. So right here, so let's do that. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, let's do a few more, and we're almost out of pieces, guys. And then I'm going to do my best to make sure I've got time today to go through and lay out some more pieces so that I can do another live stream tomorrow. I'm really anxious to get this done. I want to get this done so that I can go to future shows with my group and have this on display, because I don't want to delay this. But a lot of it depends on whether or not I just have the time, and a little bit has to do with the money too, because I don't have all the pieces to do the MOC, so I'm gonna have to buy them over time. And some Bricklink sellers are better than others. Some will get you your pieces rather quickly, and others they just take forever. Like I ordered $300 in parts, and the guy told me he was going to ship it the next day. Well, he created the label just fine, because I got the notification when I looked online that the label was created, the tracking number, but he didn't drop it off at the post office until 3 days later. So there's a lot of that going on Bricklink too. So I find buying on Bricklink a little frustrating because of that. As a Bricklink seller myself, though, I ship within 24 business hours in 99% of the cases. So I try to keep the buyer in mind and the fact that they're going to have to wait anyway, so I might as well not do anything on my end to make them wait any longer. Okay, so here's where we're out of pieces now. So here is the superstructure, and this is what the Millennium Falcon would look like if it ever fought with a Star Destroyer. This is what would remain of it. So we got this, and then we've got this piece, and I believe, if I remember right on this build, this is the tail end, where the blue exhaust comes out over here. So this is as far as we're going to get today. I appreciate you watching. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. And also hit all notifications. That way you'll know when something new comes out. Which I'm almost back to every day, but I can't commit to that right now because of what I got going on. But I'm going to get out videos as much as I can. And also leave me a comment below. If you do want to support the channel, there is a link to Bricklink, and that's my store, a chip off the old block. About 800,000 pieces, and like I said, within 24 business hours, we get them out in most cases. Very seldomly does it. I mean, like seriously, very seldomly do I have an order carry out an extra day. Even larger orders. I had an order the other day that was 16,000 pieces, and I got it out in 24 hours. So I really try my best to get it out. So yeah, you can share this video or another video on another social media platform. I'd appreciate that. There's all kinds of things you can do to help me out. All right, guys, I really appreciate it. Be good to each other and stay safe out there. And hopefully we will have a live stream tomorrow doing part 2 of this particular build. Have a good one.